Thank you, Emily. So if any of you wants to quit their job and join a startup, talk to any of those fellows or myself afterwards. For those of you who don't know me yet, I'm Batko, Head of Operations at Startmate. And I have the pleasure of working with the founders you're about to meet tonight every day. Startmate is one of the most successful accelerators in the world. And that is because we have a community of the best mentors, investors, operators, but most importantly, founders in the world. Let me expand on that. Startmate was founded in 2011 by Nikki Shevak, Mike Cannon-Brooks, and Scott Farquhar. We invested in 105 teams over 12 cohorts across Sydney and Melbourne. 2011 was our first cohort of 5 teams, and Startmate showed its early success through Grabble being acquired by Walmart. In 2012, we had UpGuard and Happy Inspector go through Startmate, which have hundreds of employees and customers, and valuations quickly reaching 9 figures. 2013, Batko, hundreds of employees, San Francisco-based, a valuation of over $100 million. On the other side, Adrolo, providing education in every school in Victoria. 2014, Lumific, getting acquired by GoPro. Flirty, a drone delivery startup, which is now in the US, of a valuation of more than $150 million, is now the most valuable Startmate company. 2015, Propeller raised $14 million from Accel and Sequoia and has offices in Denver and Sydney. 2016, Alevio, far surpassing $1 million in annual recurring revenue and is now profitable. Workyard, Series A in the US just very recently. Sydney 17, our 2017 cohort, Mentaloop reached $1 million in ARR and has just expanded the offices to London. SiteMate just reached $1 million in ARR. Morse Micro, the founders, are the inventors of Wi-Fi and has just raised $24 million. Melbourne 17, and this was our first Melbourne cohort. Everproof got acquired by Go1. SmarterMail, over $1 million in ARR. And Delicious, and now hold on to your seats. Seasoning, which makes everything taste like bacon, is now available in every Woolworths around you. Sydney 18, Trunk, gets acquired by Envision. Making Things raises from Skip Capital and Blackbird, brings crafts to knitters around the world. Work 180, graduated a year ago, raised 2 rounds of capital, expanded to the UK and the US. And Melbourne 18, so this cohort was here up on stage 12 months ago. Jigspace is now the standard for 3D presentations and comes pre-installed in every Apple Store's iPad in the world. Mindset is the headspace for hypnosis and just finished Y Combinator. Joseph raised $1 million round. Amber raised $2.5 million. Swoop Arrow raised from Tempus Partners and Rightclick Capital to bring life-saving medication via drones to the most remote areas in the world, such as Vanuatu and Congo. All right. 6 months ago, Sydney 19, the previous cohort. And this is a secret. So I need this to stay in this room. So you need to actually keep the secret. This has not been announced yet, but one of the teams, which came to us with nothing, no MVP, no product, no customers or revenue. And some of you might have called it already. Muso, the Airtasker for musicians, has just closed a $1.5 million round. But the point is, Australian founders are winning on a world stage. Startmate is competing on a world stage. And if all those companies don't deserve a huge round of applause, I don't know what does. So before I invite the first founder up on stage, I want to ask one thing of you. Put yourself in the founder's shoes. They've shown enormous bravery of becoming founders in the first place. They've gone through the most competitive Startmate application process we've ever had And they've shown incredible work to even just come to this point. So I want you to shout, whistle, scream as loud as you can to support the founders.